How's it going, guys? Today I'm going to be featuring the ZF6, the Tier 7 Premium German Destroyer. Now, the ZF6, I think I've mentioned before, is my favorite Tier 7 destroyer, at least in terms of its capabilities and how fun it can be. Obviously, there's a lot better choices if you're trying to win and carry matches. Typically, destroyers with sonar or radar, as well as smoke, just have slightly more carry potential because engaging other destroyers, which is generally what you should be doing in DDs, is how you can effectively win matches for your team, because a team having a destroyer versus not having a destroyer is a huge difference. Although the amount of CVs at Tier 7 these days, it may not matter nearly as much, but for those matches like this one when there is no carrier, it is kind of important. Luckily though, there is only 2 destroyers, and it is an enemy Osterjolland and Akizuki. Akizuki being the more dangerous of the two, having ridiculously high DPM with its main guns, both HE and AP. This cap is contested right now, so we do know one of them is here, the other is in the middle of the map, although I did not bother to look at it because I did not notice at the time. And, well, I do need to be careful because the Bismarck is so close to the cap. I would very much rather not get spotted right now, and then possibly having Bismarck secondaries and his main guns shooting at me, chunking me, and making it a worse battle for myself against whatever destroyer is here. Luckily though, Akizuki got himself killed on the other flank, so that just means it's an Osterjolland, and with our twist and track pointing in the direction of where he is, we know he's behind that island that destroyers generally hide behind, and well, there he is. Bismarck sailed away. He is now behind the island that is directly in front of us. Pop our reload boost. Osterjolland also angled just enough that our AP can get full pens with the improved pen angles. And you can see the penetrations just absolutely chunked that Osterjolland. And, well, he is now dead. The enemy team has no destroyers left, and all we really have to do now is what a destroyer should be doing, which is spotting and torpedoing enemy battleships after you kill the enemy DDs. So there's really no way or reason that our team should lose as long as we keep doing our job. Now, obviously, this is World of Warships Legends. We've all experienced those matches where you have 4 destroyers alive, but for some reason, winning harder comes to mind, and even having a 4 destroyer advantage when they have none somehow ends in a loss. As I'm recording this, I think yesterday or one of the previous streams from when I am recording this, was playing in the Anchorage. Enemy team had 4 destroyers, all of ours was dead. But somehow 4 DDs got themselves killed, and there really was no reason for the enemy team to lose having that advantage. But somehow they did throw, and we did end up winning. But that is a very big rarity. Most of the time that doesn't happen. But when it does, you definitely remember it, and it does sting, especially if it is your team that throws. But it is what it is. It is this game and this player base. Sometimes you have to kind of expect certain things to happen and try to figure out how to work around it. But it definitely does suck. But now we don't have any destroyers to spot us. We're just kind of sailing around, figuring out what target to torpedo and what would be the most effective. Ease and interior pits in their spawn, or this Bismarck that is starting to push into the cap. And honestly, I decide to torp the Bismarck, mainly because he is turning into our ship that is in our spawn, and I am going to get a broadside on him. I do kind of wish I had my second torp launcher loaded, so I could have launched it at the Bismarck, but since it does seem like he's just gonna sail straight in, I do decide to use the second set on someone else, maybe getting myself a double strike if I'm lucky. And torps on Bismarck look good, although I don't think I think I led too much, as 2 torpedoes pass in front of him, and he has a sliver of HP. Finally use my first smoke, and I do try to finish him off, although he is healing. Seeing him heal, I do decide to try and use my reload boost because I want to try and kill him off and also secure a kill. But our shells, the accuracy, not the best, trying to hit his superstructure, and he is also out healing our damage, which is a bit unfortunate, but he is low enough that I'm assuming our teammates can finish him off. Tirpitz eats a whole bunch of torpedoes and now has 2 bars left. I switch to HE to try and set a fire as he is running away because, well, he definitely damage con the floods, and if we can set a fire, he will die. And then we can move on to trying to finish something else off. Tirpitz getting close to the island. I'm hoping to set one before he escapes and heals. We do finally get the first fire, and he should definitely die from that since he only has 1 bar of HP left. Enemy Richelieu starting to charge in right next to me. Not a whole lot of time left on my smoke either. I'm just going to sit in here as long as I can, waiting for my guns to turn, and luckily, Richelieu going broadside, I do decide to switch to AP, because ZF6 AP is just so nasty, although the HE being able to pen at 32, since we do have quarter pen on this, would definitely also work, but I am trying to kill him off as quickly as I can, and we do secure a double strike. Tirpitz died off to the fire, and our Alpha is able to finish off the Richelieu. Now it's just the enemy Heezen and Perfect 10 that is on the border. Now we just basically chase the last 2 until the game is over. Team was kind of steamrolling, but I think that's the benefit of being able to finish off enemy destroyers and allow your team to kind of aggressively push on both flanks. Granted, our flank really only had the cruiser that was chilling in spawn farming the Bismarck. However, even though we did not have a very strong push going on our flank, being able to circle around sea, torping the battleships that did try to push, really did halt them in their tracks. And well, now it's just the enemy Heezen and Perfect 10 that is basically on the border. We do have 3 kills, and I am hunting for a Kraken because it is still possible, although it will be fairly difficult having so many teammates alive. But since there's really no one else, all we can really do is chase. One of the downsides of the ZF6 is being slow, and the other that I would say is well, it's not quite a weakness. I mean, at least you can stealth torp, but having 8 cam torps, if a ship is deciding to sail away from you, chances are you may not have the range to torpedo them. Although we do get lucky here, Perfect 10 does end up getting into torp range, and well, he does seem like he's sailing in a straight line, so I kind of just launch it at the line. One shorter though, because I am expecting him to either slow down or turn out or do something once the first set gets spotted. And I do just start sailing towards the Heezen. I do wait a little bit before I start shooting, mainly because I do want torps to travel closer to the Perfect 10 and give him less time to react. An ideal player would probably start turning as soon as DD is spotted, but he doesn't turn and eats the torps and gets death struck. So luckily for us, that worked out, and we do have 4 kills. Now we're all just chasing the enemy Heezen. We have 6 ships all shooting at him, so the chances of actually getting the 5th kill are very low. ZF6 though, I mentioned before, has 32mm of pen, so if we're not setting fires, at least we're doing penetration damage, except for the ones that hit his turrets or modules, but we are definitely getting penetrations on his deck since it is 32. We set a fire, he's very low. A lot of shells start coming in, but they all miss, and luckily my fire actually finishes off the Heezen and we secure a Kraken. Now this game was a pretty bad steamroll. I mean, we got rid of the enemy destroyers very early and there really wasn't anything that they could do, so we were able to just do our thing, get 180,000 damage and 3,800 XP. Even though this is a steamroll, honestly, we kind of just dominated our flank and didn't really give them any sort of chance. But this game definitely did highlight the battle impact for a destroyer. If they are able to do their job and get gets rid of the enemy DD early on, and the enemy team basically has none. It does turn into a very easy win as long as you don't really make any significant mistakes by, you know, sailing broadside, getting yourself killed and whatnot. But yeah, typical destroyer build for the Germans, using Eirik Bay, Sims and Swirsky as inspirations, using a gun build for the ZF6 because the guns are just so good, and well, honestly I don't really see a reason to use blue because I would rather depth strike things than spam torpedoes. But that's pretty much it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, leave a like and subscribe for more, and share it with your friends, or leave a comment down below on other ships you want to see in the future. But till next time, aloha.